7 years ago, estate agent Susie Lamplugh disappeared. Her body has never been found and she's presumed murdered. 6 months ago, her sister Lizzie faced her own nightmare.
I was driving back and it was probably about 5 o'clock. And I saw someone coming down while I was parking, but I didn't really think about it. And I just got out of the car when I felt a knife at my throat. He told me to get in the car. So I thought, I'm not going to get in the car. If I get in the car, then he'll drive away and I'll be dumped on the site somewhere. Or you hear about stories, and that's all I could think was that was what was going to happen to me. So I said, no, I don't want to get in the car. He threatened me. And I thought, oh no, he really does mean it. He really could kill me. And he became quite serious and sort of said, you know, I don't want to harm you, I don't want to hurt you in any way. And I thought, oh, this could get really quite nasty. But I'm going to still be persistent about this car business. So I offered him the car again. And he thought about it, and there was a really quite nasty pregnant pause. And while he was thinking, all I could think was, why is no one coming out? Why is there no one in this street that is hearing any of this? So I put the key back in and I moved away immediately, and he just got in. I dumped my stuff and I walked away from it. And as I was walking up the road, I could hear him cranking my gears. And he was really grinding them, and I thought, he's going to come after me and he's going to make me drive because he cannot drive that car. And it's going to get worse because I've upset him and I've annoyed him. So I thought, I've got to go into the first house. And so I just turned to this house and their door was open. So I just walked straight in and said, please, can someone help me? There's some guy at the bottom row stealing my car. I didn't say that he'd attacked me, I didn't say he'd threatened me or anything. And this guy came out of nowhere and just said, where is he? And I said, he's down the end of the road. And he said, fine. And off he ran. And the girl said, I'll call the police. And I just stood there as a quivering mess, having been so calm. Just stood there shaking and shaking, and I couldn't say anything. I couldn't remember my car registration number. I couldn't do any of it. Then the police just came down and he was still sitting in the car and he still had my car keys on him, and I think I was just immensely lucky. And I was lucky. A lot of people would have panicked. I think had it been someone older, they'd have screamed or something or frozen. Susie would have reacted in a totally different way, and she probably would have got in the car. I think if I had thought about her during it, I'd have panicked. And I'd have thought, oh God, I'm going to be like her.
In London's Docklands, Diana Lamplugh, Lizzie's mother, is with a group of workers going through the safety training she set up after the disappearance of her eldest daughter.
What is the most likely reaction of somebody under a severe attack like rape, do you know? You get fear, but they do something because of the fear.
They freeze.
They freeze, you're quite right. They freeze, and they freeze absolutely. Freeze to such an extent that they shut off the blood supply, they shut off the oxygen to the brain, and they simply cannot think. Do as I say, do as I say. And it's seen as acquiescence or even connivance by judges. Absolute nonsense, you know. Now, can you make fists with your hands? Now, look down, and you should have white knuckles, whatever colour you are, they should be white. And release. Now, stretch your fingers.
Diana teaches relaxation techniques, so they learn how to keep calm and in control in the face of an attack.
And release. Now, if you're tight, and you're going to be tight when you're attacked, because that is the way we react. What happens is the joints don't move properly, you haven't got enough oxygen in the muscles. If you started to try and run, you would be likely to fall over. It's much better to walk fast. I had to recognise that, and this was difficult, that if Susie hadn't disappeared, my youngest daughter might well not be with us now. Because what she'd done was put into operation what we teach. Now, I don't think, and in fact, I really don't think that she did this at all consciously. So, face your partner. I just want you to go, right, off you go, come on. Come on, get at it. Well done. Real, right, go, come on. Excellent. Now, I just want you to try that. It has an amazing effect because nobody can stand anybody about to be sick on them, and I can promise you too that works. But what have you got to do then? You get away. And one marvellous little lady, she heard this person behind, and what she did was cross the road, which is what you should do, and then she crossed the road again, and he kept following her, and she thought, this is it. So she turned round, she said, oh, she said, I thought I knew you. I know your mother. Mother! What she'd done was break his idea of how she'd behave. Lizzie was all right, and for me that was an enormously positive thing. She actually showed that good practice could overcome evil. She's had to go through all the different stages, and you have to go through the stages of anger and frustration and feeling of rejection and feeling of not being loved and coming home, losing that confidence that she had and just coming home. And I really am very proud of her. She's done very well. It's a very lonely job, coming back from being a victim.
It took me ages to want to get in my car. Before even getting out of the car, I'd look behind me, check the road, and if there was no one on the road, I'd then get out. And if someone walked towards me in a certain way, I'd think they were coming to attack me. But I think after that, I went home and I talked it through, and I just became a bit more confident about myself. Okay, I've been through it, but it lasted 15 minutes, maximum. And I've come out of it, and I've learnt from it. And I've now got the rest of my life, rather than it being 15 minutes and that being it. So, yeah, there is a positive side to it. I think other people can learn from it.
It's 7 years now since Lizzie was disappeared. And at 7 years, she will be declared dead. And that's a very big step, but we have to take it. And, you know, we all have to get on. And she's left with me an amazing legacy, a legacy and which I have to get on with, and from which many, many people are benefiting. So her life has certainly not been in vain.